This documentary is about how one country's explosive growth can lead to conflict, and how an ally can become tangled in world issues overnight with one attack. As the Japanese Empire grew, so did its need for oil and raw materials. Japan marched on Asia and China for its needs. In response, the United States placed restrictions on Japan to stop its invasions of Asia.
December 7th, 1941, a day of infamy. Even as Japanese diplomats were conferring the Secretary of State Hall record,
Japan continued its march into Asia. In response to U.S. sanctions, attacked Pearl Harbor and did so without a declaration of war.
The attack. In an hour and 5 minutes, the battleship Arizona was completely destroyed and 4 others severely damaged. 3 other battleships and 3 cruisers suffered lesser damage. Nearly 200 planes were destroyed. In that Sunday morning inferno, the Pacific Fleet appeared to be completely immobilized by the sneak attack. Nearly 3,000 casualties added to the catastrophe. Never before in history. In the explosions at Pearl Harbor, there was forged the will for complete and absolute victory over the forces of evil. 2 carriers had been on patrol and thus missed the attack. These 2 ships led other...
President Roosevelt, in his now famous speech, brought the country together and pushed back the Japanese from the Pacific and to their final defeat.
Of the House of Representatives, yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The United States was at peace with that nation, and at the solicitation of Japan, was still in conversation with its government and its emperor, looking toward the maintenance of peace in the Pacific. Indeed, 1 hour after Japanese air squadrons had commenced bombing in the American island of Oahu, the Japanese ambassador to the United States and his colleague delivered bombing in the American island of Oahu. The Japanese ambassador to the United States and his colleague delivered to our Secretary of State a formal reply to a recent American message, or hint of war or of armed attack.
The attack of Pearl Harbor, the United States bombed Tokyo with the Doolittle raid. For 3 more years, the U.S. and Japan would be at war, and the end of 2 countries were again economic allies and were dominant world powers.